Hi, Mike Kennedy here, and I'm going to just tail a camera repair that just about anyone can do. Okay, now first, why we're doing this is there's so much photographic equipment, especially if it still uses film rather than digital, that is in yard sales, thrift shops, Goodwill, all these different places. And basically you'll find a camera like this for, yard sales, it could be as low as $5, but somewhere between $10 and $25, I would say. Now this particular one is the EOS 850. This was brought out later than the other yard sale camera I have. This was Goodwill, this was yard sale. Here's the Canon 650. This was one of the first cameras where Canon took a jump over, changed the mounts, and came out with the autofocus system, compatible lenses and all this stuff. And it was considered a really big step. And it, because they changed the mount of the lens, it really got people irritated, because the older system that fit the top of the line, say Canon AE1, the lenses wouldn't fit on them. But they had to do that to get these electronics to work with the autofocus on all the newer technology. So anyway, you can buy these cameras. This was a later one. It doesn't have as many features. I'll do a video just talking about this camera, but we're not going to do that right now. We're going to talk about the camera repair. So you decide to take a chance and you buy it, or you could look at this one thing before you buy it. So we've got our Leatherman, only because we're going to use a screwdriver, although you could use a quarter for this. There's a battery compartment. And, we've tried the camera, we've turned it on, it doesn't work. So what's up with that? So we're going to see what's up with that. We're going to take this, you loosen the screw, it won't fall out all the way. It's made so that it stays with the part of the camera case, battery case. So basically what you're going to see, set that down for a second. You're going to see this part, these were together, we unscrewed that and we get this. And so first thing we're going to notice is this camera's pretty clean. Look at the shiny metal battery contacts, and they look nice and shiny. That's really good. If you see corrosion on those, that can be bad. That could mean too that the corrosion has leaked inside the camera from battery sitting in it too long and destroyed the electronics. But if we look at this one and we see they're nice and clean, there might be a good chance that we can fix this really easily. And so I got this. I didn't have battery to fit it, so I had to order a battery. $6 off eBay. I could have got one locally, but it would have cost twice as much. I'm cheap, you know me. I'm frugal. Let's say frugal, that sounds better. So what are we going to do? The first thing we're going to do is realize what's going on here probably. This camera probably sat for years and years with a battery in it. And it has these little spring contacts that are supposed to make good contact with the battery. Well, they don't. So what we're going to do is, you could do this with anything. You don't have to have a Leatherman to do this. But you're just going to go in there and you're going to pry these little pieces, which is hard to do looking backwards in the monitor, but you're going to just pry these out a little. You're going to do that to each of them. And then we're going to put the battery that we've gotten in. We have a known good battery. We're going to put that in. Oh, it made a noise. It's alive. So there we have. We've taken a paperweight. I've got to put the case back on. It did work without the case onto it. And we've taken a paperweight, and now we've turned it into a 35 millimeter film camera that we can use. And again, we're going to just use the regular screwdriver, but you could, again, these are made so that you can put a quarter in here or a penny to use that. In other words, they made it a common size so that anyone with some change in their pocket can change a battery. But there we go. Now we have a camera that works. And one of the other advantages of doing this is they've got so many lenses available for these. Canon was the #1 camera manufacturer. I didn't even know that till recently. I was thinking it might have been Nikon or something like that, but actually more Canon cameras were sold than any other camera, which means there's more Canon stuff on the used market. So here we've got the prime lens. This is a 1.8 autofocus lens. And this was also at Goodwill. This camera actually came with this lens. I've swapped them around, but what we have here is a autofocus zoom lens. You can change the focal length and take pictures with it. These lenses allow you to do either autofocus, if you can see there, or you switch it to manual focus. Then you would actually turn this to focus it. Whoops, I got to get the right lens, right angle. But you can do that by switching that switch. Because some cases the autofocus can get confused. But there you go. A really simple repair that you can do on a camera that looks in good shape but somehow appears to be dead. But there's a really good chance that those battery contacts, after having a battery in, pressing against them for years, they've compressed too much. Now also, sometimes you'll have a camera where there's a battery compartment and the battery, more like something similar to a AA battery or something like that, and it slides in the camera. So the same thing applies. But to get at that, you might have to get a pair of tweezers, and you would reach in, grab that spring, and pull it out a little. And if there's a spring on the spring type piece of metal on the case cover, you would pull that out a little again. And again, chances are you're going to have a camera that works. And so there we go. A simple camera repair just about anyone can do. And whether you find the camera or whether it's one of your old cameras, before you toss it out, before you decide it doesn't work, try bending those battery contacts out a little again and see if you don't make good contact and the camera works like new. Bye.